Hello again and welcome to 360 View. I am Olufemi Motari. I'm your host for this show, and here's wishing you compliments of the seasons, Merry Christmas, and enjoy your holidays. We look at all the sites in the news, and this time we are looking at an event that has happened over a month ago, but it has now become a court case. We need to tell you, the listeners, about it. The reason why we do this is so that people can get abreast of information generally, as well as draw some knowledge and some lessons from it. So this time, the person who is at the receiving end of this problem is a medical doctor. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment as usual. A medical doctor in the person of Dr. Femi Olaleye. The case resumed yesterday, Thursday, 22nd, um, about the allegation brought against him by his wife. So, the Lagos State Sexual Affairs Court, sitting in Keja, has listened to the testimony of the alleged survivor in the defilement trial against Dr. Olaleye, who is the managing director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation. Um, the survivor is a As at the time the incident happened, we're told she was 15. So between age 15 to 16, 17, now we learn that she's 18. But between the period of that, she was allegedly raped uh, on multiple occasions by this Dr. Olaleye. So her face, when she arrived at the court on Wednesday, her face was covered with a shawl in the company of some family members, including the wife of this same Dr. Olaleye, who filed the complaint against him. Remember that Lagos State government has arraigned Olaleye on November 30th on a two-count charge of alleged defilement of a child and sexual assault by penetration. For those two counts, he pleaded not guilty to them. So at the sitting of the court on Monday, the wife of this man, her name is Aderemi Fagbemi Olaleye, told Justice Ramon Oshodi that her husband sexually abused the minor between December 2019 and July 2022. So those are the period I mentioned earlier. When the girl came to live with her family, Ms. Olale said she got to know about the alleged crime after the survivor confessed to her aunt and the family's driver that the doctor had been sleeping with her and threatening to kill her if the witness if she tells anyone. That is, she will kill her and kill the Mrs. Olale um, if she tells anyone. At the reception of the hearing, the Director of Public Prosecution (DPP), Dr. Babajide Martins, who is prosecuting the case on behalf of the Lagos State government, called up the survivor, who is now 18 years old, to testify. So people were expecting to see this young lady's face. Um, However, the DPP applied to the court for the courtroom to be cleared to enable her to testify in privacy. He cited Section 36, subsection 6A of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which mandates a court to disallow members of the public from being present in the courtroom in the interest of our welfare. Um, in his response, the lead counsel, as a senior advocate, and Babatunde Ogala, said, though the witness has attained adulthood, he would not object to the application on the basis of morality. So the defendant, Olaleye's counsel, did not appeal. So eventually, the young lady testified. Um, in the absence of the public, including journalists. At the close testimony, the court after the close testimony, so not much. We couldn't report the what the young lady said, but the court was open to the public, and the defense counsel applied for variation on the bail condition granted to the defendant. So when the ruling was made on November 30th, like I said earlier, um, Olaleye was remanded in Ikoyi prison, and it was asked. It was the bail was 50 million with 50 million naira with two shorties in like sum who were to deposit in their court original title document of their landed properties in Lagos State, and then they will file an affidavit of means and produce payment of income tax within the past 3 years. So we don't know if Olaleye has got this, but his lawyers are appealing it. Um, so eventually, they got something. At least they got something from the court. The senior lawyer moved an application and urged the court to reduce the bail sum to 10 million, and that one of the sureties should be a relative or a professional colleague of the defendant. The prosecution, the DPP, didn't object. Eventually, what happened in this last case was the fact that the judge, Justice Oshodi, disagreed that the pay conditions should be varied based on the terms suggested by the senior lawyer. Instead, he admitted the defendant to bail in the sum of 40 million with two shorties in the like sum. So he just reduced it from 50 to 40 million. The shorties must be owners of properties, landed properties in Lagos State, and each property which original title document are to be deposited with the court must be sufficient to cover the bail sum. As with the earlier condition, the surety had to file an affidavit, and then they should produce their tax clearance. The defendant is to deposit his international passport, that's Olaleye, international passport, British passport, and other travel documents with the court. So the court has adjourned to January 3rd and 4th for the continuation of the trial. So right now it's in Olaleye's court. It's in his literally it's in his hand now to produce the bail conditions so that they can at least maybe spend his Christmas at home. But I wonder which home he will go, because right now it was the wife herself that reported the case. The case broke actually sometime around July. Around July when um, uh, one popular blog site, I think whether just Insta blog posted it, you know. And then the wife has also mentioned that mentioned to the court in her testimony that he suspected that this doctor has been drugging her, was drugging her throughout the period that he was defiling this niece of her. Um, you know, Aderemi Fales, she told the court yesterday. I mean, she told the court during one of the hearings earlier this week, you know, that he was getting certain drugs. So let me mention some of those drugs. Um, he said her husband often gave her junior aspirin and Feniga. He said, "My lord, Femi most nights gave me a small tablet. When I look at this incident, I wept. How was this incident going on in my home and I did not know?" She said, "Femi gives me medication every night and he claimed that it is my junior aspirin that will avert blood clots because I am turning 50 years old old soon. My lord, maybe a medical education examination should be conducted on me. I want to believe that I slept my way through all his atrocities. Sometimes he also gives me Fenigan. He will say I work so hard that Fenigan will help me relax my nerves. you know. So this is the case. It's a really messy case. The long and short of it is that this Dr. Femi Olaleye, if you look at him online, he's quite a popular person, even on Instagram. He's described as an award-winning medical doctor, amateur golfer. He has over 12,000 followers on Instagram. He has a entrepreneur, a medical director, like I said earlier, of Optimal Care Foundation. Talk about, and you see a lot of pictures with him and many people, mostly females. But one of the things that the gist was the fact that it was the couple's daughter that discovered this incident. He discovered when the man was assaulting the young lady, and then was able to raise alarm to the mother, and the mother didn't hide it. She reported it to the authority. The case is still in court, so we can't give judgment. But the lesson there is that if you mess up in Lagos in this kind of instance, you will be severely dealt with. It should be the same all over the country, actually. To serve as a deterrent to people like him. Hopefully, we get to the root of it. And again, I didn't want to bring you bad news, but it is what it is. Compliment of the season again, and please keep commenting. See you next time.